First and foremost, to start this trial, give me an ore block that has no substance but style. Second and lastly, if you wish to proceed, you must fulfill a suicidal deed. If you can accomplish this task of much pressure, you shall earn my most valuable treasure. So what could this possibly mean? Well, here's a worthless ore block, and here is a lava pool, and a sign of peril. So what do we do here? Well, if we break this, we get a lapis block. And if we hop in here and place that there, that lapis block goes on its merry way. Next, if we go here, we die. However, look at the lamp. We are suddenly in this new area, which will lead on to the treasure. Yes. Fantastic. If I can get it. Not. Oh no, I can't get the treasure! Ah! So, the question is, what happens if you don't put a lapis block here, or for that matter, any block? If you go over here, and hop in, you will die, but this lamp won't turn on. Also, you won't get to the next stage, you will just respawn, and you can try it again if you want, but it still won't work. And I'll explain why this works. Now, I got the basis of this idea off one of Unhost's latest videos, where he explained beds. And basically, how beds work, as I've learnt, is you can spawn, if you've set the bed as your main bed, you can spawn in any of the green areas, but anywhere outside is not a spawnable area. And if any of these green areas are blocked, like so, or above, then you can't spawn there either. So, in this case, you wouldn't actually respawn by the bed, you'd just be taken to your regular spawn point. So that's basically how beds work. And this is based off that. Another important element to this is a rotating piston square thingy. I don't know what they're called, but this is basically how they work. So you have 4 pistons and 4 corners, and you have whatever blocks, like so. Except none of these corners have a block in it. So if I push this piston, nothing happens. And nothing happens with these ones either. But if I were to place one block here, you'll see how now, if this goes in a certain fashion, let's close, you'll notice how you can move this block. So this block, if this kept going round, this block would eventually go completely round and start again, and so forth. So that's basically how the lapis part works. So if I were to place the lapis block, this goes around here, like that, and it would just start getting pushed around in circles. So that's how that bit works. Now, another thing to note is that glowstone doesn't actually count as a proper block. So, even if you place them around it, it won't allow you to spawn here. It will just take you back to your regular spawn point. So, if we take note of that, if we were to set up one of these rotatey things, like this, and that, and here, do you note how this intersects with the area where a bed, with the bed's spawn area? So these 3 blocks here are in the bed's spawn area. But because it's glowstone, you can't spawn there. However, if we were to place a control block here, and it went round, as we watch, you note how this block here, this gold block, momentarily for these 3 positions here, it will pass by the spawnable area. So, for a brief moment, you can spawn here. So when that gold block gets over here, you can spawn here. So if I were to kill myself now, I would spawn here instead of the regular spawn point. So that's basically how this works. And I'll show you that in more detail in 1 second. So this is how the big one works as well. So if we were to place a lapis block here, just like that, it starts. And it goes around and eventually it will get over here, which is the spawning area. So if I show you, over here we have a redstone torch and 2 repeaters. So redstone currents can't go through a glowstone block because it's not a proper block. So the signal won't reach here, over here, until or unless there is a proper block, such as a lapis block. So if we watch when this lapis block comes back round, now powers, so basically what that does is it indicates when you should kill yourself. So if we come through here, so when the lapis block is there, that light comes on, so that's an indicator. So that's basically how that works. And honestly, that's how it works. There are some downsides because, for example, in a puzzle map or something, it might not really work because you have to set spawn on the bed for it to work. So it's probably more suited to a secret entrance or something. But I'm not really sure how beds work, and I don't think you can force a player to have their spawn set on a bed. I'm not completely sure, but I don't think you can. So for puzzles, it's not necessarily the best method, but just for a secret entrance, it might be. So thank you for watching this.